Recorded Books is pleased to present the Modern Scholar series, where great professors teach you. My name is Richard Poe, and I'll be your host. Today we begin a course entitled Brewmaster's Art, the History and Science of Beer Making. Your professor will be Dr. Charlie Bamforth. Dr. Bamforth is Anheuser-Busch Endowed Professor of Malting and Brewing Sciences at the University of California, Davis. He is formerly Deputy Director General of Brewing Research International and Research Manager and Quality Assurance Manager of Bass Brewers. He is a special professor in the School of Biosciences at the University of Nottingham in England and was previously visiting professor of brewing at Heriot-Watt University in Scotland. Dr. Bamforth is a Fellow of the Institute of Brewing and Distilling, Fellow of the Institute of Biology, and Fellow of the International Academy of Food Science and Technology. Dr. Bamforth's books include Beer, Tap into the Art and Science of Brewing, Beer, Health and Nutrition, and Grape versus Grain. In 1984, he was awarded the Cambridge Prize at the Institute of Brewing. He holds Bachelor of Science and Ph.D. degrees in biochemistry from the University of Hull in England, and was also honored by the award of a Doctor of Science in Applied Biology from his alma mater in 1993. For more information on this course, please visit its webpage at www.modernscholar.com, where you'll have access to links to related sites and a seminar room to share your thoughts with other students. And now we begin Brewmaster's Art, the History and Science of Beer Making. Lecture 1. The Shape of the Worldwide Brewing Industry.
This class is about beer, the world's favorite alcoholic beverage. In it, we're going to look at what goes into making beer, how brewers strive for consistent excellence, how beer tastes good, looks good, and can indeed do you good. We'll look at the history of brewing, and we'll look with a crystal ball at what the future of brewing may comprise. First of all, we will look at the shape of the worldwide brewing industry, how much beer is brewed, who brews it, where they brew it, who drinks the most beer, who drinks the least. We'll look at large and small brewing companies and consolidation. And then we'll go on in the next class to looking at the basics of brewing beer, introductory overview of brewing, from the raw materials through to the end product, before considering the history of brewing and its ancient origins 8,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, how brewing moved around the world, the impact that the church and then the home had on brewing traditions, and brewing right the way through to the advent of the scientific age. Then we will look at the raw materials of brewing and how important they are. We'll look at the barley and the malt that is derived from it. We will look at the hops and the water, and how these various ingredients are selected and dealt with to achieve brewing excellence. We'll look at the brew house and the basics of how the raw materials are extracted in the brew house to produce the fermentation feedstock that the yeast will convert into alcohol and carbon dioxide and flavour. And then we will walk through fermentation. We'll look at brewing yeast and how the strain is so very important and how the fermentation conditions can influence product quality. We'll look at how beer is processed downstream after the fermentation and refined so that it's ready for packaging, and how fast and efficient that packaging process needs to be. We will look at beer styles. We'll look at top fermenting beers called generally ales, and we'll look at bottom fermenting beers, those that are usually called lagers, and we'll look at other types of beer and the overlaps between them. We'll look at the advent and the growth of light beer in the United States. And we'll cover the quality of beer, the flavour of the beer, and how other aspects of product quality, the foam and the clarity and the colour, all influence beer perception and beer taste. And we'll consider how beer is inherently unstable and the changes that can take place in beer over time. We'll talk about how beer is relatively, but not totally resistant to microbiological attack. And then we'll look at beer in the context of health and wholesomeness.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?